Welcome back. This is Power Breakfast on cnbc TV 18. Let's do some power talk then. The World Economic Forum's annual meeting is set to start off in Davos. World leaders will be flocking to the ski resort town on the Swiss Alps. Global business and political leaders expected to discuss the latest global issues. cnbc TV 18 Shireen Ban reports on what to expect and which leaders are likely to make their presence felt.
The theme at Davos this year is Globalization 4.0, and while the mood is in favor of free trade, the reality is that world over, governments are looking at nationalist policies and protectionist policies. In fact, Klaus Schwab, the man behind the World Economic Forum, has been quoted as saying whether all of our policies should be globalist is highly debatable. Of course, there will be conversations on how we can improve equality in our societies, how they can be made more inclusive. That's a conversation that is happening in India as well, with the possibility of a universal basic income. There is, of course, going to be issues around climate change, the impact of that. Remember, the US, for instance, under President Donald Trump, has given climate change a pass. So those are going to be the issues that continue to dominate mind space and headlines here at Davos. We'll keep you posted. For now, back to you.
Thank you, Shireen. We will be watching out for all those headlines from the sidelines of Davos. But the 9th Vibrant Gujarat Global Summit also took place in the state's capital, Gandhinagar, over the weekend. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the summit, and the event was attended by political and business leaders from across the world. From the sidelines of the summit, my colleague Jude Sanath caught up with Kulin Lalbhai of Arvind Textiles and began by asking him about the growth sustainability for the company as well as the entire industry. Take a look.
I think right now, I feel that the next few years could be a very bright spot as far as textile exports are concerned. I think a lot of things are converging in our favor. Global demand remains strong. I think relative to countries like China, people are looking at India and the Indian subcontinent very seriously. I think the exchange rate also is now in our favor. The slight sort of technical issues that were there because of GST have subsided. There's a lot of confidence now that is coming in. So I really feel that the next few years should see strong growth as far as textile exports are concerned.
But do you think our competitive edge has been blunted by growth in markets like Bangladesh and even Vietnam? Do you feel they've kind of blunted what we are doing? And why have they managed to take away so much share from us?
See, the only one advantage that they have is free trade agreements into large economies like EU. And that's a large advantage that they currently have. But I think the policy framework that our government is also putting in place is trying to remove that sort of disadvantage that India has, create a level playing field. And I'm very confident that if a level playing field is there, then we can dramatically scale up our exports.
What do you think India's focus should be to benefit from the trade war that's going on?
Definitely, I think India can benefit a lot, irrespective of the trade war. I think from the cost perspective, looking at the wage costs in some of these countries like China, looking at their other input costs, they are moving up the value chain. And only countries like India have the labor pool to absorb that scale of manufacturing.
What exactly is the focus, going forward?
So on e-commerce, I think it's giving a huge new market to all our brands. Our brands are available now on every single pin code. And that's kind of really expanding our market, and we are connecting our offline to our online. So our stores are now becoming like mini warehouses through which even online demand is being catered to. So it's becoming a very interesting omni-channel world.
And what's the focus, fabric capacity or garment capacity going forward?
As a company, our strategy is to get closer to our customers. We want to become a solution seller. So rather than selling intermediate products, we want to sell solutions, which means we are scaling up our garmenting capacities, because only 10% of our fabrics become garments today. We want to take that up to 50%. Become really strategic and close to our customers. So that's the focus for us, right?
Give us an update on Arvind Fashions and Anup Engineering listing. Any update on when they are expected to be listed?
The process is still underway. We are expecting, over the next month, we should be able to list the business.
And roadmap for textiles business, are you looking at an asset-light model going forward?
Yes, as I said, we are investing a lot in areas like technical textiles and garmenting, which are less asset-intensive as compared to conventional textiles.
All right, interesting commentary coming in from Arvind's Kulin Lalbhai. More importantly, next month is when we can expect the listing of Anup Engineering as well as their lifestyle fashion brands business. But before we move forward, dear viewers, with the new rules for DTH and cable coming into effect from February 1st, you have to choose the channels you wish to watch by January 31. To keep watching India's #1 business channel, English business news channel, CNBC TV 18, just call your cable operator or DTH operator and ask for CNBC TV 18 only for ₹4 per month.